Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Hope your day is going well. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make a daily reward system in your Roblox game. Alright, so we're going to start off by creating our leader stats. So what we're going to do is go inside of the server script service and we're going to insert a brand new script, and let's name this leader stats and let's start coding. So what we're going to do is get two different services. So let's get the local players service as well as the data store service, game get service, data store service. After that, we need to create a data store. So local stats data store is equal to data store service get data store, and I'm just going to name this players stats 1, just like that. So for our data system to work, we need to create 4 different stats. So I'm going to make 2 of them coins and gems. These are just going to be 2 different types of stats for the daily reward. We also need a daily reward int value inside of the player, as well as a last claim time inside of the player. So let's make that. So let's set up our hook. So players.playerAdded::connect, and let's just create a new function on player added. This is going to take a player. We can assert the type as a player, and let's connect this to onPlayerAdded, just like that. Now let's create the leader stats. So local leader stats is instance.new folder. We'll put this in the player. Leader stats.name is leader stats, and that's it. Let's create the coin stat. So local coins is instance.new int value, and we'll put that inside the leader stats folder. Coins.name is equal to coins, and coins.value is equal to 0. Once we make the coins, the gems is pretty much the exact same. I'm going to copy and paste that, not there, but here. Let's do gems, 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 and gems, just like that. After that, we need to make a daily reward int value. So local daily reward is equal to instance.new int value. Let's put it inside the player. Daily reward.name is equal to daily reward. Daily reward.value is equal to, and then we're going to set this to 1. So daily reward is going to be holding the day that they are currently in. Once we do that, let's do local last claim time. Instance.new int value player last claim time.name is going to be equal to last claim time, and the last claim time.value is equal to 0. So this is going to be we're going to put a timestamp as to when the last time they claimed a daily reward. Okay, so once we do that, what we can do now is set up the data saving. So let's just say local success saved data is equal to pcall function, and we'll return the stats data store get async player.user_id, just like that. Now if it was a success and we have saved data, then we'll set the coins value to the saved data.coins or 0. We'll set the gems value to the saved data.gems or 0. We'll set the daily reward.value to saved data.daily reward or 1. And finally, we will set the last claim time to be the saved data.last claim time or 0, just like that. So if it wasn't a success and it was not saved data, we will just set the coins.value to 0, gems.value to 0, daily reward.value to 1, and the last claim time.value to 0, just like that. So we're halfway done with our data saving. Let's create a onPlayerLeave function, which will take in a player as well. Let's just connect this. So players.player removing :connect onPlayerLeave. And what we'll do is we'll say local leader stats is equal to player find first child leader stats, and if leader stats, so if we have the leader stats, we'll say local coins is leader stats find first child coins. I'm going to duplicate this 3 more times. We'll make one for the gems here, and for the daily reward, make sure we get this from the player, and daily reward, and let's do last claim time. We'll get that from the player, find first child, and let's do last claim time, just like that. Now what we will do is down here, now if we have the coins and the gems and the daily reward and the last claim time, we'll say pcall function stats data store, and we will set async player.user_id, and we'll pass through a new table. Coins is equal to coins.value, gems is equal to gems.value, daily reward, can't spell for some reason, is equal to daily reward.value, and last claim time is equal to last claim time.value, just like that. So the coins, gems, daily reward, and last claim time, we're going to be calling that here, and that's how we're going to be passing through the data. Great, so that is it for our Leaderstats script. Now let's move on to creating our GUI. Alright, so what we're going to do now is create our daily rewards frame. So inside of the starter GUI, let's insert a new screen GUI. I'm going to name this daily, I can't spell, daily rewards. There you go. And what we're going to do is in the properties, let's do ignore GUI inset, set the reset on spawn to false, and we'll set the z-index behavior to global. Once we do that, we're going to insert a new frame into this screen GUI. Sorry, I'm just blanking out for a second. What we're going to do is set the anchor point to 0.5.5 so it is center on our screen. Set the position to 0.50, and let's set the size to 0.65, 0, 0.204, 0. So that's going to give us this nice horizontal frame. Now, once we do that, we're going to add a couple things in here. So for style, let's add in a UI corner and a UI stroke. UI corner, I like a 0.1, 0. UI stroke, I'll set to 4. And make sure the apply stroke mode is border, just like that. Now, after that, what I'm going to do is insert a new text label. So let's insert a new text label. I'm going to name this title. What I'm going to do is set the background transparency to 1, the font face to Fredoka 1, the text will say daily rewards, and I'm going to make the text color white. Now we can't see the text, so let's just quickly add in a UI stroke. Make sure it is contextual. I'm going to lower the thickness to 3.5, and to remove these like ugly like holes like in the A and the E, I'm just going to set the line join mode to bevel, so that like removes it. Alright, so once we've done that, let's position this. So for the position, I'm going to set this to 0.5, 0, negative 0.16, 0. So that's going to be a little above, and let's make sure we set the anchor point to 0.5, just like that. And I'm going to increase the size a little bit. So we're going to set the size to 0.359, 0, 0.237, 0. So that's going to increase the size just a little bit. After that, let's add in our exit button. So I'm going to insert a new text button. Let's name this exit. For the position, let's set this to 0.978, 0, and then negative 0.098, 0. So that's going to be all the way on the top right. And let's set the size to 0.039, 0, 0.227, 0, just like that. And now what I'm going to do is add in a UI corner. I'm going to make this 1, 0, so it's a perfect circle. Let's set the text to X, Fredoka 1, and I will make it white. And I'm going to make the background color a nice light red. I think it's a little too much. I think there you go. So that is awesome. That's going to be our exit button. Finally, to top off the outside before we make the other important frame, I'm going to create another frame or another text label. So just duplicate the title. We're going to name this tip. And then what I'm going to do is set the position instead of -0.16. We're going to say 1.072. So that's just going to be at the bottom here. And let's set the size to 0.9, 0, 0.16, 0, just like that. And for the text, we are going to say play for 7 days to unlock all of the rewards, just like that. So that's just going to be a little tip for the user. I'm just going to reduce the UI stroke to 3. I think that looks a lot better. Awesome. Now that we've done that, we're going to create our main rewards frame. So what I'm going to do is insert a new frame inside of here. Let's name this rewards frame. And just so you can see what's going on, I'm going to set the background color to a little bit of a gray so you can see it from the offsetting white. For the position, let's go 0.5, 0, 0.186, 0. Make sure we have the anchor point and the x to be 0.5. And we're going to make the size 0.963, 0, 0.747, 0. Just like that. So this frame is going to hold all of our rewards. Alright, awesome. Now what we're going to do is insert a frame inside of this rewards frame and a UI grid layout just like that. So we need 7 frames to be here for all 7 days. So what I'm going to do is, let me just rename this to template. We're going to change the cell size for the UI grid layout. We're going to say 0.125, 0 and then 0.9, 0. So I found that this is the best. Set the cell padding, so we don't need one on the Y, but on the X we'll set it to 0.15 and the rest will be 0. Of course it looks ugly right now, so let's set the horizontal alignment to center and the vertical alignment to center. So this looks really nice, so I'm just going to delete all the templates except one of them. And for this template, what I'm going to do is add in a UI corner. Make that look nice. I'm going to add in a UI gradient here. This is all for stylistic reasons. Feel free to customize this however you would like. But I'm going to do a nice blue to blue here. So blue and then maybe a little bit darker. Yeah, all right, I like that. So I'm going to keep that. And I'm going to set the rotation to 90 so it's top down. But awesome. Finally, let me just add in a UI stroke to this and I will set all the settings just like that. Alright, awesome. Now that we have all the style stuff, let's move on to what is going to actually be in this template. So the first thing that we will add is the reward image. So let's add in an image label. We will name this reward img. Let's set the anchor point to 0.5, position to 0.5, and we'll set the size to 0.473, 0, 0.49, 0. So it's just a little bit smaller here. Once we do that, let's set the scale type to fit here, and we'll set the background transparency to 1, and don't add any image here for now. We're going to do that dynamically. Next, let's add in the reward name. So for that, I'm just going to duplicate the title and move it into the template. Let's name this as reward name. We'll set the position 0.5, 0, we'll do 0.047, 0. Set the size to 0.755, 0, 0.223, 0. So more lengthy than more length than in height. And what I'm going to do is lower this UI stroke to 2.5 because if there's too much UI stroke, it does not look good. And finally, let me just put this here as gems. See how it looks with a real word here. So yeah, it looks good. I like it. Feel free to customize however you would like. Next, I'm going to duplicate the reward name this as reward amount. And what I'm going to do here is let's set the position to 0.53, so it's there, and then we'll set the size to 0.521 and 0.154, so it's quite a little bit smaller. And just for some text, I'm just gonna say plus 25, so plus 25 gems. Finally, we need a claim reward button. So we don't have any pre-made buttons, so let me just create a text button. We'll name this as claim reward. Let's set the background color to 115, 255, 99, so a nice green here. We will set the position to 0.5, 0, 0.743, 0, and let's center down the X. And for the size, let's say 0.7 and 0.207. So it's nice and small there. What we will do is let's make it say claim and make sure the text is white. And what I'm gonna do is just add in a UI corner and a UI stroke to it, just like that. Let me just lower the UI stroke to 3. And I think that is good. All right, so that is literally it for our rewards. What we're gonna do to set this up is let's just make the template, or I'll keep it visible for now just to show you. Let's just make the rewards frame transparency to 1. Let's just duplicate this 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, this looks really nice. So let me just revert that, and we have 1. So awesome, this is our GUI complete. Now we can actually start the coding. Alright, so to start coding, so we already created the Leaderstats. What we need to do is create a config for this. So what we're going to do is go inside the replicated storage. Let's create a new folder, and I'm going to name this configs, and inside of here we're going to add a module script, and we're going to name this to DailyRewards, just like that. And let's rename the module in here. And so follow along because the syntax can be a little misleading. But what we're going to do is inside of these brackets, let's hit enter. And inside of here, what we're going to do is create our first daily reward. So for day 1, what we'll do is set the currency, and let's do coins. And for the amount, I'm just going to say 50. So this is pretty much on day 1, we're going to give out 50 coins. That's all it is. So what I'm going to do is copy this for 7 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And make sure to change these. So they say 5, 6, and 7. So I'm going to keep this all as coins. So let's do 50, 75, 100, 150, 250. And then for the last 2, I'm going to set them to gems. So I'll do 25 gems here and 50 gems. So this is how you want to set up your daily rewards. So, you know, if you have like something else that you want to put here instead, you can. But this is how I'm going to set mine up. So once you create the daily rewards config, you can close that up. We will not need this. We will not need to edit it for the rest of this video. But next, what we're going to do is start coding this on the client. So what we're going to do is go inside of the starter player scripts, and let's insert a new local script. We'll name this daily rewards, and we can get coding. So we need 2 services. So let's get the players and the replicated storage. We will say local daily rewards. So that's the config we made. So require replicated storage.configs daily rewards. We need to get the player. So local players, players.local player. And let's get the player GUI. So player.player GUI, just like that. What we're going to do from here is get our GUI elements, as I have open here. So we're going to say local GUI is player GUI, wait for child daily rewards. Now the reason we're using wait for child, you know, sometimes when we join the game, the daily rewards screen GUI may not be loaded yet. So we're telling the script to wait until we get the daily rewards. So once we get the GUI, let's get the frame. So local frame is just the GUI.frame. We'll get the exit button. So frame.exit, just like that. And let's say local rewards frame is equal to frame.rewards frame, which is this here. And of course we want to get the template, so rewards frame dot template, just like that. All right, awesome. So the first thing that we can code, very basic, I mean just the exit button. So let's just say exit, mouse button one click, connect function. We'll just set the GUI.enable to false. That's it. We don't have an open button, but making an open button, you know, all you would do is just say open, mouse button one click, and just make the GUI enabled. But I decided not to make one. It is not as important. All right, awesome. So what we're going to do is create a new local function. So let's say local function generate GUI, and it'll take no arguments. And what we'll do is for underscore day in I pairs days do. So we actually need to create this days, but before that, let me just explain why we're doing it like this. So what we're doing here is that we're going to loop through all of the days and then of course make a template for it. The way that we could have done this is loop through everything in directly from this daily rewards, but the issue with that is that, you know, if we were to do it, it would be for day reward in pairs, and then we would have done daily rewards. Now the issue with that is that this does not have any we don't know if it will get this in order, because when you try and do it like this, what will happen is that we may have day one, and then we may have day 3, and then day 2, and then day 7, and then day 5, because pairs, it does not read it in order, it just reads it whichever comes first to it. So that's the reason why we're not doing it this way. We're going to do a different approach though, which will ensure that everything is in order. So for that, what we're going to do is just come above here, and we're going to say local days is an empty table, and then we'll say for day in pairs daily rewards do. We'll say table.insert insert days and day. So this is just going to insert all of the days into this days table without, you know, any particular order. Now to make it in order, what we're going to do is call table.sort. We'll call the days and we'll create a new function, and it will take in two values, A and B, and we will say return to number, A is less than to number, B, just like this. So this is going to sort all of the days from the smallest day all the way to the largest day, so from day 1 to day 7. Awesome. So now that we have the days, we can come back to generate GUI and start coding this. So what I'm gonna do is say local reward is equal to daily rewards and pass through the day. We'll say local reward template is equal to template : reward template dot parent is equal to rewards frame. Reward template dot name, make sure it's reward template dot name is equal to the day. So when the templates are made, it'll literally be called 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. But once we do the name, let's do reward template dot visible equals true. Once we do that, we need to, you know, set the name and the amount and all that. So let's say reward template dot reward name, which is going to be this right here. We will set that equal to dot text is equal to reward dot currency, just like that. And then we'll say reward template dot reward amount dot text is equal to, and then let's do a plus, and then concatenate that with the reward dot amount. So this line here is for that right there. Awesome. Now that we've done that, now we're going to dynamically set up the image. So we're going to say if the reward dot currency is equal to coins, which if we go back is one of the rewards that we give out. So if it's coins, what we're going to do is set the reward template dot reward img dot image, and then I'm going to set that to an image that I already have here, just like that. And else if reward.currency is equal to gems, which is also another thing that we give out, what we'll do is, let me just copy and paste this line here. This is just the same thing here, but with another ID. If you want, you can copy these down if you would like. Awesome. Now that we've done that, let's call generate GUI and we can test this out. But before we test it, let's just make the template invisible and let's test this out to make sure everything is working. Alright, so it turns out we got a little error, easy to fix, but as you can see, all of our templates are loaded. So coins 50, 75, 100, 150, 250, and the gems as well. And if I go into the player GUI, we can see 1 through 7 and everything is working perfectly. Now to fix this error here, all we need to do is go into our game settings, so home, game settings, security, and tick this box. I usually like to tick this box with it. Actually, usually I like to tick all the boxes, but if you want to tick the most important box, that's just going to be this one right here, enable studio access to API services. So I'm just going to hit save, and if I just play the game one more time, the error is gone, which is awesome. Alright, great. Now that we've done that, let's start working on this button here. So what I'm gonna do is let's create a new function. So let's do local function update buttons, and what we're going to do is actually on second thought, let's code in the server first before we update the button on the client. I think that is going to work best here. So what I'm going to do is let's go inside of the server script service, insert a brand new script. Let's name this DailyRewards, and let's just start coding on the the server first. So what we're gonna do, we just need the replicated storage here. What I'm gonna do is say local DailyRewards, and let's just get the DailyRewards. So replicated storage.configs DailyRewards. What we're going to do is say local function claim reward. This is going to take the player and the day, which is a number. Now to hook this up, we need to create a remote event. So let's just do that. So instead of replicated storage, create a new folder, name this remotes, create a new remote event, and I'm going to name this claim daily reward, just like that. And now that we've done that, we need to get the remotes folder, replicate storage on remotes, and at the bottom here, we'll just say remotes.claim daily reward on server event :connect claim reward, just like that. Awesome. So now that we have that, what we're gonna do is do the create the logic. So what I'm gonna do is get all of our stats first. So daily reward stat player find first child daily reward. I'm gonna duplicate that. We'll do one for the last claim time stat, which is the last claim time, and I'm gonna do one for the leader stats, just like that. So now we have they're both our stats in our main folder. Let's get the current day. So that's going to be the daily reward stat dot value, just like that. And let's do the local last claim time stat dot value. So now we're getting the values of both of these. And let's get the current time. So that's just going to be os.time, just like that. Now, what we need to do is check if the current day, which we're getting from the server, is if it's not equal to the day that we're getting passed in the client, then we just want to return wrong day and end the function here. Now, the reason we are doing this is because if a hacker, for example, were to change the day on the client and claims that on the server, if we didn't have this checked, it would just blindly accept it and give the player that reward. So what we have to do is check if the server and the client are the exact same, which if nobody hacked it or manipulated it should be the same, then we can just move on. So but the sanity check is really important here. But once we check, or once we find out that it's the wrong day, what we're going to do is say if the last claim time is not equal to 0 and the current time minus the last claim time is less than, and then 24 hours. To do 24 hours, we'll take 24, multiply it by 60, and multiply by 60. So this represents 24 hours in seconds. So we're checking if the last claim time is not equal to 0 and the current time minus the last time, so the gap between them is not less than, or is less than 24 hours. Then we're just going to warn that the player dot name is trying to claim the reward too early, just like that. And we just want to end the function, so return there, just like that. So that is a check. We need to do one more check. So we're going to say local reward is equal to daily rewards, and we'll pass through the string of day, because here we store everything as strings. What we'll do is we'll check if we don't have a reward, then we just want to warn that there is no reward for that day, and we just want to return again. So we are doing these checks just to ensure that everything is correct. Now, if everything is correct, what we're going to do is give it to the player. Give the reward to the player. So local reward stat is Leaderstats, find first child reward dot currency. And if we have the reward stat and the reward stat is a int value, what we'll do is reward stat dot value plus equals reward dot amount. So we're going to give the player that that value's worth of the reward stat, and I'm just going to print out the player got it. So we know that the player actually got the reward. Then we need to reset the time. So last claim time stat dot value is going to be the current time right now, and the daily reward stat dot value is going to be the current day plus equal to 1, or I guess plus 1, sorry. Awesome. So now that we have reset everything, so everything on the server is up to par, now we actually need to show it in the client. So what I'm going to do is just fire this exact same claim daily reward back to the client and pass through player. So this is just going to tell the client, hey, everything was a success. We got past all the checks and we gave the player what they wanted. So what I'm going to do is just fire that to the client. So once we've done that, coming back to the client, we need to accept this. I'm going to close the daily reward. But in the client, what we're going to do is at the bottom here, I'm going to say remotes. Oh, we don't have a remote, so what I'm going to do is just copy that from here and paste this here. So we have a remote, so coming back here, we'll say remotes.claim daily reward on client event :connect, and we'll connect that to update buttons, which we are yet to code. One more thing for the update buttons, let's just connect that. So player : wait for child daily reward dot changed. We'll just connect that to update buttons as well. Awesome. So the final thing that we need to do is, make the update buttons. So for this, what we're going to do is let's get the daily rewards stat, just like we did on the server. Player find first child daily reward, and then we'll say local last claim time, find first child last claim time, just like that. And if we don't have the daily reward stat or not the last claim time, then we are just going to return stats not found, and we'll just end the function there. So if the script can't find it for some reason, we don't want it to error and break everything, so we're just going to end the function right there. Now let's get the current day. So day is equal to daily reward stat dot value, and let's get the last claim time dot value, and we'll get the current time, which is os dot time. This may look familiar because this is the exact same thing or similar to what we do on the server, but we need to do it in the client as well. Now, once we've done that, we're going to say for underscore reward template in I pairs rewards frame get children. So we're going to loop through all of the templates or all the all the templates that we have in the rewards frame, we're going to say if the reward template is a frame, and we can number the reward template dot name. So if it's the 1 through 7 template, what we'll do is we will get the day. So that's just number reward template dot name. And then we will get the claim button, which is the reward template, find first child, claim reward. So that's the name of the button that we have to claim. And if we don't have a claim button, then we're just going to return end. Or actually, let's continue end, I guess. But once we do that, what we're going to do is have a couple of checks just to see what our button should be. So what we will do is we are going to check if the day is less than the current day. So if the template, so let's just say we're on template 3 or day 3 right now, we are going to get the templates 1 and 2. And what are we going to do with 1 and 2? What we're going to do is claim button.background color 3 is color3.fromRGB, and we'll give it a nice gray color. And what we'll do is claim button.text is equal to claimed. Now the reason it's claimed is because, as I said, if we're on day 3, we must have already claimed 1 and 2. So we're just going to have it say claimed. And once we do that, we'll say claim button.auto button color is equal to false, and claim button.active is equal to false, just like that. But once we do that, what we'll do is else. So if the day is greater than the current day, for all of those, what I'm going to do is just copy this logic, paste it here, but instead of claimed, it's just going to say, actually, no, it won't say claim, it will say day, and then ..toString day, just like that. So if you want to visualize this real quick, so let me just duplicate it 4 times. So let's just say we're on day 2. That means we already claimed a day 1 yesterday. So for this one, it'll say claim or something around the lines of that. We'll code that in a bit. For the one before that, it will be gray and it'll say claimed because we already claimed it. But for the ones after that, we don't want to say claimed because they are yet to claim it. So we will just have the words day and then 3, for example. So it'll say claimed and then claim, day 3, day 4, and then day 5, day 6, and onwards, just like that. But yeah, so coming back here, the day toString day, that is perfect. Now, what if the day is the exact same as the current day? So today is the day where we claim it. So let's say else if day is equal to current day. Now, this one is not as simple as you think. We could just make it claim and then green and all that, but we want to tell the user that, how much time is left before they can claim. That's why this one is going to be a little more complicated. But to get the easy thing out of the way, let's just copy and paste this logic here. And what I'm going to do is make it green. So it'll be a green button that says claim, and we'll set auto button color and the active to true, just like that. But we also want to make it in which the player can see the countdown. So for that, what we're going to do is say local remaining time is equal to last claim plus 24 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 60, which is the amount of time in seconds, minus the current time. So this is the amount of time that's left. Now, if the remaining time is greater than 0, so they still have time before they can claim it, what we'll do is the claim button dot background color 3 is going to be green as well. We're going to set the claim button dot text. Now this one's a little long, so follow along. It's going to be string dot format, and then we're going to do %0 to d colon, and then I'm just going to copy that. %0 to d colon 0 to d, just like that. And now we need to give it the format. So the first one, we're going to math.floor the remaining time divided by 3600. So that's going to be our seconds. And then let's do math.floor. Actually, what I'm gonna do is do it like that. Yeah. So our string.format, math.floor, we're gonna get the seconds. Then let's do math.floor, remaining time, modulo, and then 3600 divided by 60. So this is gonna get us our minutes. And then finally, remaining time modulo 60. This is going to get us our hours, just like that. And actually, we don't need to math.floor this. So all we need, and what is the error? Oh, we may need it in that. Oh, looks like a bit of an error here. I think it's just a syntax error somewhere. This looks good, that looks good. Oh, I think, okay, so there's a syntax error somewhere. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just put everything in one line. Just like that. Okay, now it's fine. So what we'll do is string.format, we'll have that, and then comma math.floor here, comma math.floor, and then double parentheses this here divided by 60, and then the remaining time modulo 60, just like that. After that, what we'll do is we're gonna call update buttons again, just like that. And it, oh yeah, I see why. Okay, so I typed this out wrong, sorry about that. But okay, so once we have that there, what we're gonna do is get the claim button dot auto button color, set that to false, claim button dot active is equal to false again, and then in this if, we're gonna do task dot spawn, create a new function. We'll say while the remaining time is less or greater than 0, we'll wait 1 second, we'll subtract remaining time by 1, and then what we're gonna do is just copy that line there and paste it. So what pretty much it's gonna update the time every single second, and then after this is done, we're just gonna call update buttons again, just like that. Awesome, so that should be our update buttons complete. The final thing we need to do is when we first load in, we need to call update buttons. But yeah, so that should be all the code. Now to test this out, what I'm gonna do is instead of 24, 60, 60, I'm just gonna set that to 15 seconds. So we can just test that out. And of course we need to set our template to invisible. So let me play the game here. So it looks like we have claim and then all the other days. That is awesome. So let me hit claim. And we cannot claim for some reason. Let me look in our last claim tire. Daily reward is 1, but we cannot claim for some reason. So let me see what the issue is and I'll be back. Okay, so I found the issue. The issue is that we never even set up a mouse button one click. So under the else here, what we're gonna do is say claim button, mouse button one click, connect that to anonymous function, and we're just gonna say remotes, claim daily reward fire server, and pass through the day that we want to claim. Awesome, so let's test this out. So in the game, we have everything, perfect. So I'm gonna hit claim. We get our 50 coins and claimed, player got it, and as you can see when I click, it says they're trying to claim the reward too early, and we have to wait for this to go down. So let's give that a second. Now we can claim, so claim 75 just like that. So this is working perfectly. Now let me leave the game. So we were at 11 seconds when we left the game, and when we rejoin, we only have 2 seconds. So awesome. So even when the player leaves, because we're using os.time, you know, we are tracking even when the player leaves, it'll count with their daily reward. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.